Hey everybody, Josh Topper here from Topper Machine. Many of you know me from my manual only machine shop and my manual machining content and my sawmill, and also I do railroad contracting, locomotive repair and inspections. I have over 22 years of experience with first and second generation EMD locomotives, and I'm on site today at a locomotive to do a little bit of electrical work, and I'll start her up and let you guys hear this thing run. So the locomotive that needs work today is this one, number 423, an EMD F7A built in 1949 for the Chicago and Northwestern. I believe the original number was 4076C, and it was renumbered when it went to New Jersey Transit. I believe in the early 80s. It was out there for quite a while. It was re-geared for high speed. They used it in freight service, actually. It is a 1500 horse, 16 cylinder, 567 BC block, two-stroke diesel, basically a giant Detroit. So let's climb on up inside the engine room. We'll walk through the engine room, then we'll go up to the cab and do the electrical repair. So we're in the back of the engine room. Here is the accessory rack. We have our load regulator here, our water tank with oil cooler, oil filter is this big thing here, traction motor blowers down below. Then we come up to the front end of the motor, and actually this is the back of the locomotive, but this is where our governor is, water pumps, oil strainer, and then here's the motor. This is a 16 cylinder BC block, so it was built as a B block, converted to a C block, which is way better, V16. And it's very dark in here. We'll get some lights on once we get the work done. This end has two basically very large superchargers. This is what supplies the air for the two-stroke diesel. And then let me back up. This is the main generator. This is what propels the locomotive. It's all electrical drive, 600 volt DC, high amperage. I believe this generator is capable of 1800 amps. And then this is our auxiliary generator here, with a blower mounted to it to cool the main generator. This is what runs all of our low voltage DC circuitry, all the control, all the accessories, lights, things like that. And that is the circuit we're actually working on today, is the low voltage. And then this is the air compressor. It's a big 3-cylinder. I can't remember the output of these, but they're significant. I've actually worked on the air-cooled version of this compressor, and I've worked on the 6-cylinder version of it, which is really an awesome compressor, really puts out a lot of air. So let's turn around here. This is all electrical cabinet. This is what controls the entire locomotive, all of this. And let's head up into the cab. So there is the control stand, throttle, reverser, air brakes, everything you need is right here. And behind me is more electrical cabinet, all the access to the cabinet. Now we're going to be working in this cabinet. Let me get it open here. So one of the things we're doing is we're replacing this relay. This relay had failed a week ago, and I built this relay out of pieces and parts of relays I had laying around, so I could get the locomotive back in service. And here is the brand new one, just came in. So we're going to go ahead and change that one out. And then I also had a bad breaker in the alternator field right here. So I've got the brand new breaker. We're going to replace that, and then we'll fire up the locomotive and make sure everything is kosher. Back in here is where this breaker goes, and somebody did a temporary repair that actually was a very good idea, but it was executed poorly by putting this 30 amp fuse in there. Now, it worked fine, except when the wire corroded a bit and it broke the wire. So I did a quick fix. I pulled the bad breaker, connected the leads up here, clamped in just to get the locomotive moved. Now we're going to go ahead and fix it properly, put the new breaker in, and be done. Alright, so there is our new breaker. My finger's on, all installed. Set in there properly on the alt field, right where it's supposed to be. Now the rest of these breakers are actually original to the upgrade of the Locomotive, so that's the newest one in there. So now we can go ahead and start this thing up and test everything out, make sure she's good to go. Alright, so our repairs are all done. I blew out the cylinders. You do that in case water gets in. It does damage or will bend a connecting rod or break one. And I opened this valve cover so you guys can see it once it's up and running. So I'll go ahead and get her started. Everything seems to test out. Now, a little history on this locomotive. This is the second locomotive I ever worked on. I was actually involved in the restoration of this unit, along with several of my good friends and mentors who are, a few of them are gone now, and a few of them are failing health, but I still keep in contact with those that were involved. They're good friends of mine, and you know, it brought a lot of us together, and seeing this thing run for the first time was incredible, and seeing it restart on a week ago Friday. It was a week ago Friday. We got the main generator bearing replaced. I worked with another contractor on that. We got it replaced, and then I found that bad relay. Now, I fixed that, built one to make it work, and then got it started, and that was just a wonderful feeling again. In 3 years this thing had been out of service, so it was good to see it running. We took it out for a test run, and I'm not going to do a test run on it today other than a load test just to make sure it makes amperage, because it's in the siding right now and there's a train out right now and I don't have clearance to go out, but we're just going to do a quick load test. But yeah, this is the second locomotive I ever worked on, and since then, you know, I've worked on SW1s, I've worked on Jeep 7s, Jeep 30s, Jeep 35s, SD40-2s, SD38ACs. I've been up in SD70s and SD90s. You know, I've troubleshot locomotives for other operations as well, so I've worked on quite a few different things. Some Jeep 15s, lots of stuff over the last 22 years, so I'm pretty well versed in the electrical and mechanical of these things. Our air is up. We got good main reservoir, good brake pipe, good independent brake. Let's go ahead and do a quick load test just to make sure she's loading. That sounded good. And we'll watch the amp meter here. Get a good angle so you can see it. Oh yeah, she's pulling up amperage. 300, 400, 500, and we'll stop at 600, and I felt her start to move through the brakes. Reverse. And there she's coming up. This thing has a very soft load. It's actually an excellent passenger locomotive. Beautiful, beautiful. Nope, good amperage. Everything sounds good. She revs up nice. Loads good. Everything seems good. She's ready to go back into service. But one more thing. You guys probably want to hear the horn. You don't blow that with your head out the window. It hurts. Well, I hope you guys all enjoyed that little bit of the railroad content you've been asking for. And until next time, get out in your shop and get it done right the first time.